hard to believe that this is his first test match, Virat Kohli, because he's become such an integral part of their one-day squad over the last couple of years, coming out of a tournament-winning Indian under-19 team 3 years ago. This is going to be a challenge, as he will realize very quickly Test cricket is a different proposition altogether from the limited over variety.
And this is that delivery, reaches for it, Latchman, hands way out in front, didn't get to the pitch, allowed the ball to spin and off the outside edge, straight to Sammy.
A gift there from Edwards to help him get his first runs in Test cricket. Really a poor delivery.
Well, it was an attempted Yorker. Just straight onto his legs. All it needed was some bat. The disadvantage with Fidel Edwards and the short ball is that because his action is a bit round arm, he can't pitch the ball as close to the batsman to get it to bounce. He's got to pitch a little further back, which gives the batsman a little bit more time to see it. Looked a lot better this morning when he was pitching the ball in that area. Gets just a little bit round arm. Way off the perpendicular. Too many balls back of that good length.
Edged and taken. Another very important wicket just before lunch. This has been a superb session for the West Indies as Fidel Edwards strikes.
Well, as I told you about pitching the ball up, he's been much better bowling at that length. And that one encouraged Kohli to play. Just left him slightly outside edge. And Kohli goes for 4. That you'll see if you look at the pitch map is on a good length. Just followed it, Kohli. Away from his body. Outside edge. And he's gone for 4.
Like Lakshman, the man he's replacing, Virat Kohli missed out in the first innings. His very first test match. Excellent first-class career. Good one-day record. But he's now going to be judged on his test performances. That was the last ball of the over.
Well, trying to play it on the up, really too early to play that kind of a shot. He's just coming to bat. In fact, the previous delivery, he hit straight to the bowler. That was along the ground. Looking to get off the mark, trying to play a drive, not quite leaning into it. Some ball maybe stopping on him. Wasn't the regulation half volley. Darren Sammy took a sharp catch. India have got to be watchful now. Have a look at that. The foot didn't go anywhere near the front foot, but then Lakshman's not known for his movement. He's got sublime touch, but at the moment just deserted him in this test match.
That's obviously brought some life to the West Indies effort. 2 wickets in 2 overs. They can pick up another or 2 with a few overs still to go to the close.
Good save. Darren Bravo making the save. Gets encouragement from his teammates. Had a difficult time in the field this season. Just easy runs for Kohli, just pitching outside the leg stump. Body in behind it. Good strike of the ball, Kohli, so he didn't get a run for that. No Dravid, 32.
Well, I would suspect with this good spell that Bishu is in the midst of at the moment that he will continue for a little while. Sammy's picked up a wicket, been very economical.
Full toss and easily put away. Bad delivery from Bishu. Just wonder if those fingers are tiring. They shouldn't be. He's only in his 7th over, but he's bowled 2 bad ones in this over. One down the leg side and now a full toss, easily put away.
Might have been a commentator's curse on him.
Cracked away. Set catch was a call, but it's going to go all the way to the boundary. Again, that bunks on it. Bishu is disappointed.
Yeah, this could have gone anyway. It could have gone to the hands of Brendan Nash because it wasn't deliberately played up, folks, and I think you know that. Uncontrolled. Did bounce. It landed quite safely.
Cracked away, well saved. Get a single for it. But yesterday, it did become overcast. The cloud was high, and we understand there was some lightning and so on. And that's behind us, so that's where the thunder might have come from. Either that or a very heavy sound man, Colin Oliveira, walking about. But I think it was thunder.
He's probably on the roof and he fell.
Oh, very alert cameramen we have on this crew. Nice shot. Pick the gap between mid-on and mid-wicket. Goes for 4. So just in the last couple of overs, scoring rate has picked up. First boundary off Sammy in his 11th over. Yeah, Bish, I think it's time for Phelan Edwards. Just a little burst. We will go through until 5:30, I think. 10 overs after this remaining for the day, and that should carry us down to 5:30. Oh, now where did that come from? Excitement, but that's about all. Not a dismissal.
Well, Kohli's looking to play a number of drives for the second time at deliveries that are not quite half volley length, and I mentioned it in the previous over that on this pitch with the cracks, and that certainly hit a crack and bounced extraordinarily, you've got to be very circumspect with your aggressive shots, your scoring shots. Has to be really up there like 2 deliveries ago that he worked away for 4.
I think that's what Dravid told him. Dravid came down after he drove at that. Big appeal for a leg before. May have been a bat onto it. So a little bit of excitement now. 75 for 3 at the end of the over.
That's nicely played. He's got very supple wrists, Rahul Dravid. Well run 3. Very good timer of the ball. Very strong off his legs. Goes on to 44, and it's been a plodding innings. He's faced 118 deliveries. He's taken his time, and you can see now that he looks very well set. It's maybe 11 minutes to go until the scheduled close. And he's planning to be here tomorrow. No real hurry for India to get a big lead. Lots of time left in this test match.
Handled the lifting delivery well. Not too sure that Rahul Dravid would like being described as a plodder, but in all honesty, when you think about Rahul Dravid, you think about someone who will endure, an Alan Border type player, a Steve Waugh, someone who's really so dependable, where that dependability actually overcomes any sort of ideas about being a stylist.
118 balls for 44. He's really had to grind this one out. He's trying to get one to bounce a little bit higher. It's Edwards. And just not that much life in this pitch. Those short balls being handled quite comfortably. He's getting the ball to reverse. I would think he'd want to pitch it up a bit more and see if he could get some movement. Last over almost got through Dravid's defense with one. And that might be a better idea. Deep backward square leg now brought off the boundary.
Ducked into that one. Took his eyes off it, Virat Kohli. And the fans, the few who are here, enjoy that.
Well, we saw this happen to Kohli during the one-days. He was taking his eyes off it. Didn't bounce as he'd expected. And that was one that if he'd stood up to his full height, he could have handled quite easily. It's given him something to think about.
Not lined well enough to trouble the right-hander, who either had something to say or just a little gesture, maybe to rile or distract Fidel Edwards just a bit. Oh, I blew him a kiss. Isn't that lovely? He's a combatant, no question about it, as is this man. Slimming it off now in place, together with the short leg.
Well, let's think. Let's have one that's up and swinging in. It's a waste. Had something good going and wasted it. 86 for 3.
Another on the body for Adrian Bharat. Came to him on the bounce.
But he's taken a pounding today, hasn't he? That back pad position, Adrian Barrett.
The fans who are here are still looking for some late drama. There's a little bit of a duel between Edwards and Kohli. After blowing him the kiss, a few words as well.
Well, this is a time to just remain calm. You can look as flustered as you want to, but in your mind you have to have a plan. Even if you're going to bowl the short ball, you've got to think of what you really want to do. If you get him to expect it, something up and straight.
I think this might have put pay to any prospect of another over for Bishu before we get down to 5:30. What's up here? Some discussion about where Adrian Barrett, a no ball being signaled from square leg. Did Barrett's right leg go across that line, across that crease? If it did, then it would be 3 fielders behind square on the leg side. Yeah, the foot just probably, and if you were to estimate, his foot would be over the line as well.
It's pretty clear there.
Might have been on his heels there, Adrian Barrett.
He didn't play that one very well, and very nearly went to hand. Was in the air long enough for Virat to get there. Didn't think he figured out how fast it was coming to him.
Almost played on. That didn't make the height that he expected, just came off the toe of the bat. Another kiss.
A little fuller. Kohli very fortunate there. He's really trying to stir him up now. I'd still like to see something full and straight. Kohli looked a little late on that last one. That was pitched up a little more.
Keep hammering home the message, Douche. There's still one ball left. He might hear you eventually.
Well, it's gonna be the last one because he's killed the day now. That was a better ball. Well played in the end as well. I think that should have been the full delivery. Dravid just making sure that this is the last one. Now what will he do?
Full, but way down the leg side. And that's gone away for 4 byes in an anticlimactic finale to a day in which India have certainly taken the advantage, even as the exchange continues between Fidel Edwards and Virat Kohli.
Well, India in a really strong position here. They're 164 runs ahead, lost just 3 wickets, and we've got 3 days to go in this test match. Rahul Dravid there on 45, albeit from 125 deliveries, but he's there, and everything else has seem to rotate around him. So it's been a good day for India. Bowled out the West Indies for 173. Now they've taken their lead to 164.
First run of the day and well taken. Just a little prod into the offside by Dravid. Moves him on to 46, brings Kohli into the strike now.
ViratKohli had an interesting little episode yesterday. The final over, faced from Fidel Edwards. It's a bit of backing and forthing.
Well, that's very, very close to the off-stump ball, keeping low and going through ball, and will touch the boundary. So it goes for 4 byes, just scooting through and just narrowly missing the off-stump. No shot played.
When the pitch is keeping low, you got to get your knees down, get your body behind it. Didn't approach that in the best way, did Carlton Ball.
Perfect view there of Sabina Park, the only remaining edifice on the ground from the early days is the Kingston Cricket Club Pavilion there on the right hand side. Very, very different to what it was back in the 60s. Big appeal for a catch of the wicket and out. So Edwards has picked up his man with a short ball down the leg side, walks away, has a look at something. Of course, there has been the report today that Mishra was fined 10% of his match fee for lingering when given out in the first innings. Kohli goes.
He's pounded a few in this one. Just going down the leg side, and passes pretty close to that glove. Umpire Harper reckons that he got a tickle on it. Not immediately apparent to us, but he's got to go. First Indian wicket of the morning goes down. Kohli for 15. It's 100 for 4.